Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here at Target Trading Academy with today's Micros Market Recap. Let's get right into it. It is Monday, February 27th here at the close. Micro oil starting us off. So we opened inside the range from Friday in oil, had initial buying. They didn't quite get to the close from Friday. They got close. But ultimately, sellers stepped in and drove it down, found a floor, and later on they tested both that high right there and then that floor again. They completely disregarded this HVA edge, and as such, once they did that, the remaining times there, we were just disregard them. But no real movement for us or opportunities in oil. We are finishing net down compared to Friday's close. As far as gold goes, well, we opened slightly above the close, didn't really go down to it. I wasn't too far away. So they opened right on it and then just had a move up, hit that edge once, and then finally broke through it. And then seller stepped in again. And then they just kept testing those new highs. And ultimately, they couldn't break it that third time, but they did finish on that top end. So we are finishing net positive in gold. As far as our equities go, the ES and NASDAQ, they both started gap up. Let's scroll this back here for you. I had initial selling. Buyers stepped in early in the morning, about 15 minutes or so in, and then they just drove it up. And then news came in as well. The news didn't really do too much. It was just more of a more volatile move in that same direction. And then you can see that buying power was just diminishing. They just couldn't match those highs, and they just kept getting lower and lower. And then ultimately, the sellers really kicked in when they got below that HVA edge after that support held and translated into a potential winner for students. But obviously, after those sellers kicked in, they tested those lows, and they just fought that area. And then it was a fight the whole day. I won't not say that. It was a typical Monday. It was slower, as Mondays usually are. But ultimately, they did get back into the range from Friday. They didn't get to the close in the ES. They got relatively close, but not quite cutting it. And that's where we're finishing now, above it. So we are net positive in the ES and the NASDAQ. Similar story with how everything developed in the NASDAQ. You can still see the response at these levels, much like the ES. Unlike the ES, though, the NASDAQ, instead of going down at the open, had a little bit of initial run up, and it was a fight, more of a fight on that downward slant than in the ES, where it was more of a direct move back towards that range. But NASDAQ was a fight the whole time, right from the get-go, unlike the ES. And then they had that similar move where they made those new highs after news, and they just couldn't sustain that. Those buyers just could not break through. And the sellers were stepping in, and once all those buyers realized that, you can just see the floor just dropped from underneath them, and they tried new lows, and it was, again, just another fight. This consolidation here was ridiculous, and they didn't make much more headway after that, as you can see. So we are finishing still net positive in the ES and NASDAQ, gap up still in the NASDAQ from the range on Friday. If you are interested in learning more information about these levels and how you can get them onto your charts the night before your next day's trading endeavor, feel free to reach out to us. We are Target Trading Academy. You can find us online at targettrading.co. Again, that is targettrading.co. Or go to our Facebook page. Get in touch with a consultant at either location. They'll gladly show you what we do in our rooms each and every day, and you'll be able to see for yourself why we are the #1 trading education company in the world. Look forward to having you there.